Real Housewives of Orange County star Shannon Beador was arrested for 2 misdemeanors, one for a DUI and the other for a hit and run. Apparently, she drove her car into a home.
Hell no.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So if you've been watching the most recent seasons of The Real Housewives of Orange County, you know that both Gina and Shannon have been going back and forth. This season, Shannon decided to add a little bit more sauce on the story of how she helped Gina, and now saying, well, if I didn't help her with this attorney, CPS could have came in and took her children away. As you know, Gina had her own arrest and DUI situation a few seasons ago. Again, we weren't watching and recapping the show then, but we are fully aware because they've brought it up. Particularly, Shannon has brought it up multiple times over the last few seasons on how much she's helped Gina. But the group has also alluded that Shannon drinks a lot and drinks to a point where she ends up calling them and texting them and telling them all about the things that are going wrong in her relationship. So there's sort of been this underlying theme that Shannon drinks a lot. But just because someone drinks a lot doesn't necessarily mean that they have a problem. But was I completely surprised when this news broke that Shannon Beador was arrested for a DUI and a hit and run? Apparently, she ran into a home. So let's get into what TMZ is writing in their exclusive in regards to this situation. So Shannon Beador, as you know, has had a tough year. You know, her breakup, the show, the things like that. All right. They said the reality TV star got busted for driving drunk this weekend in SoCal. So law enforcement sources tell TMZ that the Real Housewives of Orange County star drove her car onto a residential property in Newport Beach Saturday night and actually clipped the house. Like, she's lucky that it didn't go all the way in. She's lucky she did not hurt someone. But there's more to this crazy story because there was someone in the car with her. So they said law enforcement sources tell TMZ Beador then turned back onto the road and kept going before parking her vehicle in the middle of the street and getting out with her dog. So according to the TMZ sources, they say that Shannon tried to act like she was taking a walk when police arrived after receiving a 911 call. We're told that she wasn't fooling anyone as she appeared wasted and was taken into custody. Cops also seized Beador's car as a part of their investigation into the damage to the home. So a rep for the Newport Beach Police Department says that Beador was booked for 2 misdemeanors, hit and run, and DUI alcohol. She was cited and released without bond. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ that Shannon was not filming because, as you know, production for the show is not currently filming. But I wouldn't be surprised that production will be picking the cameras up to get the real life reaction going on here. They said, of course, it's been a bumpy ride for Beador lately. In January, she publicly discussed her painful split from her boyfriend of 3.5 years, John Jansen. Beador told People that she was blindsided by Jansen breaking up with her in November of 2022, weeks after they had wrapped filming for season 17 of The Real Housewives of Orange County. She reportedly said, he told me he was done with the relationship, and to hear what he said to me then was absolutely devastating. So here's the thing in regards to the situation, because anytime we report on DUIs, I don't think it's emphasized enough. And I think our culture has become desensitized to reporting on this because so many people are driving under the influence, and driving under the influence doesn't just always mean alcohol. Sometimes people are driving under the influence of other situations, okay? I don't think we emphasize this enough, that how dangerous this is. Shannon could have taken someone's life. She drove into a home. Someone could have been walking their dog when she's driving into someone's home. She could have hit them. This could be a lot more serious. She could have been charged with a lot more. I grew up in an age where they had the campaigns for say no to drugs and don't drink and drive. I grew up in that era, and I know probably a lot of you did as well. So for me, I feel as if it's not emphasized as much now, but we need to. Maybe we need to start bringing those campaigns back, because way too many people, young and old, are driving under the influence and not really understanding the ramifications. I think one of the things that Shannon should have to go through, besides treating, if at all possible, that she has an addiction to alcohol, but she should speak to someone that has driven drunk and may have killed someone or hurt someone, or speak to a family that has been affected by drunken drivers. Because sometimes having that will help you figure out, first of all, why you're doing this, why you made that decision, especially in this day and age. When I grew up, we didn't have Uber. We didn't have, look, here in New York, the taxi drivers wouldn't pick up black people. So look, that's a whole other thing. But nowadays, it's a lot easier to get a taxi or an Uber and not risk the lives of yourself, of the people that are outside, or your dog. And I know the people that love their animals are like, really? This is what you're doing? And we've talked about Shannon Beador. We've loved Shannon Beador on the show, but I can separate loving her on the show and her real life bad behavior. And I don't want to pile onto her, but I hope that she gets the help that she needs, because it could have been a lot worse, Shannon. You really could have hurt someone in this situation, especially if you're driving into someone's home. They're probably the ones that called 911. Like, someone just drove into my home and then drove off. And I'm sure she drove off because she was scared. But girl, come on now. And she's not thinking because she's obviously inebriated. So as I mentioned to you before, I wouldn't be surprised if cameras are picked right back on up so that they could get the real life reactions of Shannon Beador. And I believe this may have secured Shannon's position for next season. And I know y'all, and for Gina, because now Gina is going to call her out, I'm sure, for how many times you have called me out for my DUI and how you helped me. You were just doing it this past season, and now you were arrested. They've already filmed the reunion. So for those of you that are wondering, oh, maybe they'll talk about it at the reunion. No, they've already filmed the reunion. So we're not going to get this sort of conversation at the reunion. This will be a new story for the new season. But here's the thing, and I always have to say this too. I don't want Shannon to do this for our entertainment. I want Shannon to do this for her own healing. I want Shannon to do this so that she won't make this sort of mistake again. If Shannon doesn't come back next season and she focuses on her well-being, I'm okay with that. But I already have a feeling that Shannon will be discussing this on the new season of season 18 of The Real Housewives of Orange County. Guys, I know so many of you have different experiences and walks of life. Please feel free, if you are willing, to share your story of maybe you've been in Shannon's position before. Maybe you have dealt with alcoholism personally or with family members. Or maybe you have experienced the death of someone that you love due to a drunk driver. I think you'd be surprised who's reading these comments section. And I feel like I learn and grow from gaining and listening to what you guys have to say in the comment section. Guys, as always, let's continue this conversation there. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll ask you. Follow my lead.